Here comes Peter Cottontail, hopping down the bunny trail. Hippity hoppity, Easter's on its way.
Sunsets like a tangerine. Let's find a road we've never seen. Don't waste another mile or a minute not kissing me.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Bear.
How's everybody today? Happy Saturday.
Cheers.
Love you. Cheers and love you guys too.
What do you call 10 rabbits marching single file backwards?
I don't know that I've ever seen that, so I don't know what I would call it.
It's Easter. That's a receding hairline. Rabbits, bunnies, Easter, receding hairline.
Yeah, a receding hairline, the rabbits. Yeah.
Hairline.
Gotcha. But you said something about Easter, so then that threw me off.
I was doing a bunny joke. It's Easter.
I'm slow. If you would have just said it was a receding hairline, I would have got it.
I'll bet every bunny thought that was funny.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did. We are in a fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. We have been, we got here on Monday.
Yep.
We left Pahrump in the morning just in time to be able to get here before these crazy winds hit.
Yeah.
Jen from Dan and Jen, Nevada, she had texted me because she knew we were traveling. She says, I hope you aren't traveling in this wind. And I said, we're already here. So it was...
It's not that far of a little jaunt between the two towns.
Maybe an hour and a half for us.
At the most,
Yeah.
pulling, and then we hit a bunch of road construction and had to slow way down. But outside of that, it wasn't a bad drive, and we got here and got all set up, and...
Well, the drive, during that construction, they had you actually get off of the road.
Off of 160.
The blacktop and onto their dirt that they're laying out before they put more blacktop down on the other side of the highway. And that, they had wet it. So all that dirt was like mud, and it splashed up and stuck to the front of the RV, and he was out there cleaning it for quite a while trying to get that stuff off. And you're not supposed to clean your rigs here, but he just took a bucket out there and washed it, so it wasn't like a big hose down or anything.
Yeah.
And the poor truck still needs to be cleaned. But when we got here on Monday, Tom had checked us into the
On Facebook.
RV resort, and our friends Tommy and Christine were here in town, so they made a U-turn and came back. They were on their way somewhere. So that was really awesome to see them.
It was cool to sit here and talk to them good 45 minutes before they had to go to their scheduled appointment.
Yeah. We met them at the RV Dreams rally last year in Pahrump, and we've stayed in contact. They're awesome people.
Yeah.
Even though, Rod, you'll like this, they're Cubbies fans. They're big, huge Cubbies fans.
Tommy's the biggest baseball/Cub fan I have ever met in my life, and he has more memorabilia than anyone I've ever met or seen in my life. It's amazing some of the autographs that he has, and he's still getting.
Yeah, so much so that when he posts baseball cards of the lineup, and they're autographed.
For that day's game, for the Cubs.
Yep. The other day he posted one, and he had a Daniel Descalso card.
In a Cardinals.
In a Cardinals uniform in his lineup. Because Daniel used to be with us, and then he went on to, wasn't he at the Rockies, and then he's now with the Cubs, but it was kind of funny. But that was a wonderful surprise to get to see them there. I mean, when we scheduled to come here, we planned on seeing, our friends that live here.
People I used to work with in radio.
Yeah, actually all of them. Huh?
All of them. Yeah, that's who lives here.
Yep, that's all the people we know. Now we know a bunch of RVers, but before it was just people in records and radio.
Yeah.
But, so then on Tuesday, we got to go to lunch with your friend Brandy, and she had a surprise for you.
Yeah, Brandy, and she lassoed Sean, who used to be the promotions coordinator at the country radio station I worked at here in Vegas in the mid-90s. And we just had a great lunch, chit-chatted, and just had the blast. It's so good to see them.
Really nice restaurant too.
That's about I can't remember the last time I saw Brandy. Sean we saw 3 years ago, but Brandy,
It was when you and I came.
she's a fine girl.
That's what you always sing about her every time you hear that song. But the last time you saw her was like close to the beginning of our relationship, and
Long
we've been
time
together
ago.
for 19 years.
Long
So
time.
I would say probably about 16, 17 years.
Yeah, something like that. It was a great lunch.
Yes, it was very nice.
We had a good time.
And then, was it Wednesday morning you were
Yeah,
out
we had.
around the truck?
Again, I'm always spot checking tires and wheels and axles and looking at stuff on the truck and the trailer. And I'm out looking at the truck, and I'm like, uh-oh, what is this? And there's some wet spots inside the driver's front well wheel. And I wasn't thinking, and I thought, uh-oh, something's wrong with the shock, because I put my finger around the shock, and there's oil coming out of the shock. And I went and checked the other three and couldn't see anything, and made an appointment at a diesel repair shop in town. Took it in there, and actually called them and said, hey, I think I need new shocks. It's got this and this and this. So we go in there, and they had ordered the shocks, from a parts warehouse auto place in town. Got the shocks. He brings the old shocks out to me, and he says, how did you know these were cracked? And I'm like, cracked? I thought one was just leaking oil. And he says, no, that wasn't from the shock. He says, but let me tell you this first. He says, you've got one that's leaking, but it wasn't that one. The other three are cracked. The shocks are just worn out on this truck. And it drove nice. I didn't realize that something was wrong with it. And even when people get in the truck and ride with us, they go, wow, this truck really rides nice.
Yeah,
But,
it just was so gradual.
So he tells me, these three are bad. And he goes, I said, well, what's the leak? What is that? And he goes, well, you've got your oil leaks. It's a Ford. So you've got your front seal,
An old Ford,
it's an
19
old
years
Ford.
old, yeah.
So it's got little oil leaks. I said, yeah, but what is that? And he goes, oh, it's a power steering leak. I'm like, oh no. He says, I don't know if it's the pump or the two high pressure hoses. So he says, it looks like it's stopped right now. We kind of cleaned it up, and I said, all right, don't worry about it. He said, well, if you decide you want to have it fixed, call us back and we'll get you in here. So nothing on Thursday, and we go do stuff, drive around in the truck, and I'm looking, and I'm like, son of a gun, it's leaking. I better call him back. So yesterday, I called him, and Chris, the guy, answered the phone, and I told him who it was. He goes, yeah. He says, and I said, I got to get in there and get this thing fixed. It's leaking. So I took it in there yesterday, sat for 6 hours in their waiting room. I didn't have an appointment. And it's Friday, and they're not open on weekends, and they had a bunch of appointments yesterday, so they tried to work me in and stagger me as they were finishing up appointments. Hey, we got 20 minutes, go work on his truck. So they did. But to replace the two hoses, it wasn't the pump that was leaking, thank goodness. It was just the hoses. So I got two new high pressure hoses for the power steering. Got a new air filter while I was there, because it was filthy from being in the desert all winter long.
And 4 new shocks. So.
And 4 new shocks.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how much money did we spend in 2 days there?
Oh.
Hey, it's part of our home.
And it's a part of the adventure.
You gotta
Gotta
get
do it.
stuff fixed.
Yep.
And it's like,
Gotta do
could
it.
I have done it myself? Possibly.
Especially not the shocks.
Possibly. The shocks is, 4 bolts per shock? And we got that nice jack now and everything,
Yeah.
It just would have taken me, 3 or 4 months.
And you're not allowed to do it here. And
Yeah,
it
you
needs
can't
to get done.
You
so.
can't work on your vehicles here in this RV park that you're staying in. You can't do anything like that.
No.
You can make noise, but you can't work on stuff.
Yes.
So,
And make sure you tell your dogs, no pee-pee until you get all the way over to the dog run.
They're not supposed to go number 1 or number 2 anywhere in the park unless you're on the dog runs, which are gravel, little pea gravel. And, you know, you go from where you're parked to there, you've got to run with your dog to get there. And half the time, they only go halfway and pee. And then you're looking around like, are the RV police out looking at me?
We talked to one lady that was in there last night, and she says, I don't care. They can yell at me.
Yeah.
There's nothing much you can do. If your dog just has to go, they go.
And we carry bags with us, so we pick it up
Oh,
if
well,
there is
yeah,
something
there's
that
that.
falls out up there.
If there's something that you can't do that.
Anyway, truck's in good shape. Knock, and away we go. Hey, it's all part of the adventure.
Right, Jen?
You smile, you get it fixed, and you move on with life.
Yep, do what you gotta do.
It's not all peaches and cream, but hey,
No.
nothing you can do about it. I'm not going to get upset about it. Did I get upset about all
No,
this?
you didn't. No,
Did that surprise you?
not so much anymore.
Yeah.
Because you're getting much better about that.
It's like,
It's like, oh well.
just
gotta
spend
deal
the
with
money
it.
and get it fixed. It's only
it.
money. I'll find another tree.
You found one? Don't tell people. Well, Wednesday evening, we had a fantastic time.
Yes, we did.
We
Oh my God.
owed Dan and Jen Nevada a dinner.
We owe them so much.
We
It's
owe
ridiculous.
them way more than that, but that's something that they would agree to accepting. And so we went to this wonderful Italian place, Nora's, and we went there last year with our friend Jay.
Yeah.
But it was funny when they recommended that. I was like, yes, we
Yes,
actually
let's
know
go.
that place.
Let's go to Nora's. What a
Let's go
great
there.
Italian place.
So we went and had dinner with them, and
It was a
we
blast.
laughed and had a great time. And
Yeah. We've got
But
pictures posted on Instagram, by the way, of that. If you'd
Yes.
like to see all of us together, and
Yep.
it was pretty
Jen
cool.
wore her Tom and Lori RV Live shirt, and I wore mine, so we were twins. They're the same color. We both picked the same color, and we didn't know we had picked the same color. So.
People on Instagram, some folks have already said, "My gosh, you guys look like sisters."
Oh, it's the same shirt and the glasses and the smiles, I guess. I don't know.
It was fun. It was a blast.
Yeah, so thank you, Jen
Safe
and
travels,
Jen,
guys.
for everything. It was kind of bittersweet because we had to say goodbye because we won't get to see them for probably over a year and a half.
Yeah.
The way our travels are taking us all in different directions.
Yeah.
So that's one of the wonderful things about this lifestyle is you make such great friends, but then the downside is there's people that you probably won't see for another year, year and a half,
Yeah.
2 years. That's like our other friends, Christine and Angie. They're on the East Coast, and they're going to be over that way for still quite a while. And it's
Yeah.
already been over a year since we've.
Yeah.
Well, no, it hasn't, because
It'll-
they came and saw us in Truckee.
Yeah.
So, but it's closing in on a year that we haven't seen them and won't get to see them.
Mhm.
And extra special hugs to you guys. I know you guys watch us, Christine and Angie. We hope that you
Yeah.
guys are doing good.
Yeah.
And hugs, big hugs to
Big
you.
hugs.
And then on Thursday.
Thursday, I told you Sean was the promotions coordinator of the radio station here in Vegas in the mid-90s. Lee Millard was the promotions manager, and I got to see Lee for the first time in 19 years, maybe?
Less than that, because he
A little less
was
than
in
that?
Reno for an event.
That's
and we
right,
saw
that's
him
right,
there.
yeah.
So,
But it was great hanging out. He got to come here to see the RV, to see how we live, where we live. He didn't have a lot of time, and he just stopped by for about 40 minutes maybe.
yeah, he was kind of like
and,
on his lunch hour.
and it was so much fun just visiting and kind of reliving some of the old days and just talking about how it's going with us and what's new with him. But it was great seeing Lee. That was a blast.
A lot of your, the people that you, well, not a lot, but several of the people that you worked with in Vegas are actually still here. And a lot of times that doesn't even happen
Yeah.
because people, you know, in radio, they travel.
And they're
where-
not really in radio anymore. You know, they've branched out and they're doing other things.
Brandy is, but
Brandy is, but it's not like it was.
Right. Not
She's
in
like
the radio station.
She's like does
anymore.
all digital stuff. She has nothing to do with day-to-day radio operations anymore like she used to, but she handles all the digital elements of, I think, was it 5 markets for the company that she works for out in the western U.S.
Big job.
But
Good job. So we
Okay.
visited with Lee at lunchtime, and then we went to the Las Vegas Country Club.
oh,
Woo-hoo!
yeah, that was a blast.
That was so much fun. We went to go meet our friend Jay,
Oh.
and if you haven't or seen our video, Jay came to visit us when we were camp hosting up in Oregon,
Yep.
and we had a blast with her then. But we got to play bingo and have dinner.
Oh my gosh.
It's such a cool thing, and they do it once a month.
We had wine dinner, then bingo,
And more wine.
and more wine. No, not really. We had 2 glasses.
2 glasses. Yeah.
Maybe a glass and a half.
They were
2
nice,
glasses.
generous glasses, though. I
Yeah.
gotta say that.
But the bingo was a blast. She won.
No one won round. Yep. We gave the certificate to Jay. 'Cause
Yeah.
she had paid for the evening. So
And it was
like,
for the
we don't live here.
the pro shop. The pro shop there at the Las Vegas. Country
However,
Club.
Jay, if it had been the bottle of wine, I don't know if we would have given that up. We love you. We had such
we
a
would have
blast
shared it with you.
Yes, we would have. You would have had to come over, and we would have had to have the wine. So, but that was really, really fun. And then afterwards, she took us for a little walk out, and we got to meet Dean Martin.
Oh, that's right. Where are those pictures? I didn't even post those pictures on Instagram.
Yep, you're gonna have to.
I forgot all about the Dean Martin
They're on
pictures.
Google Pics because they were on my phone.
I'll have to find them.
Yes. So that was cool.
Yeah, we got to hang with Dino.
Yeah. For a few minutes. Got to get our pictures taken with him anyway.
Where do you see those pics?
Yep. But that was really a lot of fun. And I had really never played bingo like that, outside of being a kid playing bingo, but not.
That was fun.
It was fun. And you didn't have to do the little ink daubers or anything. They had these little boards that have little window
little
things
slide windows.
that you would.
It was a blast.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Really cool people we met. We sat at a table with a couple other ladies, Frankie and Robin, and they were
Yeah.
great. So that
It
was
was fun.
That was fun. And then yesterday was basically we had planned on going and getting some grocery shopping done
Yeah.
and going and having lunch with our friend Bill, but the truck needed to be repaired, so
That was an
that
all day.
kinda
Like I
took the
said,
whole day.
I sat there for 6 hours in their waiting room while they worked on the truck. So that was all day yesterday. But everything's done. Everything's peachy creamy now.
hopefully, hopefully it stays that way.
Yeah.
And
And then we're going to pull out of here next week. Start our
Monday.
little. We only have a couple weeks, so we're going to start our quick little journey northward from where we are in Vegas till we get to Truckee and our camp hosting gig, which starts Monday, May 6th.
yeah, just a couple of weeks.
And then we'll open up our campground up there, I think the 15th of May,
It's supposed to be, yeah.
somewhere right around
We'll see.
that.
We'll see what it's like when we get up there.
We'll see.
Might be pretty soggy.
Yeah.
But I guess that they get a crew in there to kind of clean up all the pine needles and any branches that got knocked down. So that's not something that we have to handle. We'll probably help with certain things, but that's the Corps of Engineers. And that's one of the beauty things about the
Yeah.
Corps of Engineers, too. It's
Yeah.
theirs, and we're just there to help with campers.
Yep.
So this afternoon, we're hoping to, if nothing changes like it did yesterday, go meet up with some friends that Tom used to work with, Kyle, in Fresno in radio,
And now he works in radio here in Las Vegas.
and meet his wife, and not meet his wife. We know his wife, Meredith. Meet his kids. He has 2 kids now that we've never.
Yeah, he's
never
popped out
met.
too.
He didn't do that. Meredith did.
Yeah, well, he popped out too.
You guys cannot take credit for that. Sorry, you can try all you want. That ain't happening. But they're having an Easter event at one of the malls around here, and so we're gonna swing by and say hello.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow, just kind of pack up, which we really don't have a lot to pack up when we're only in a spot for a week or less. Then we just don't do a lot of setup. So there's really not all that much to pack up.
Yeah.
And I haven't been working this week, so I don't have my desk area to put away. Or
And the weather's been changing. I know in the southern deserts in Arizona, it's been over 100 degrees the last week. It was 100 in the Indio Palm Springs area yesterday. I guess it was like 105 in the Phoenix area. And it's been in the 90s here in Vegas, but low 90s, 90, 91, 92. And it's supposed to be back up there again today. And then tomorrow, it's going to be very cool for Vegas, only 80. And then about the same on Monday before it heats back up. And it looks like triple digits are just a couple weeks away from here.
Wow.
So, and we're going to be north.
We're starting to
We're
trek
getting
up
out
north.
of this. It's nice having the full hookups because we can run the AC all the time. But once we start boondocking, our solar, we can't do that. We could run our air conditioner on low with the generator if need be. But I think we're going to be fine heading north and staying away from the hot weather. And we'll make it to Truckee, and we're going to be perfect up there. It's still lows in the 30s and 40s and highs in the 50s and 60s every day in Truckee right now. So that's pretty cool. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
That
Hey,
it?
Roger
Just
Lamb.
for Saturday?
Yeah. Something we might, I mean, we're going to test this out. Something new, like a weekly poll. So all through this week, we're going to continue to ask this question, like on our Facebook and that kind of thing. So the question is, for a weekly poll this week is, should outside TVs, TVs that are built on the outside of your rig, should they be allowed to be played in RV parks and campgrounds? Or should they just be reserved for tailgating and out in the boonies by yourself, or, that kind of thing? Should you be allowed to play them, like if our neighbor right here that's 10 feet away from us can disturb us with his TV? It's not happening.
It's
just
something to think about, because you get to thinking, well, wait a minute, that's up to me if I want an outside TV. It is, but in an RV park where you're jammed together, most RV parks, I don't care where you are, you're jammed together. It's really kind of rude if you've got your TV blaring late at night. So that's the question, If you're out in the
How do you feel about
boonies,
that?
that's not a problem,
And I think they probably even came up because of like people going to races and that sort of thing where they wanted, the TV outside. But anyway, just a question. It's not something that's happened to us. We just thought of it the other day when we watched something else, I think.
I guess give us your answer in the comments below, because we don't know how to set up the poll yet. So
Oh, right.
So
It's not going to be an official poll.
just let us know.
Yep. And then happy Easter, or
Easter?
whatever you celebrate.
Happy Easter. I get an Easter breakfast this morning then.
It's not Easter today.
I get a pre-Easter breakfast this morning then.
Sure.
Yes! Bunny eggs.
Tomorrow.
Today.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You want me to put eggs in your oatmeal?
Life is short, make
No.
it sweet.
And no. See ya.
See ya. Have a great week.